What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I hope you like this video. This is Martha's Vineyard, Season 1, Episode 4. I feel like it's been way more than 4 episodes, but we're only on Episode 4. I'm not sure how many episodes we're going to have. This is a new show. We're already on day 7 of 15. I don't know if we're going to get like 5 more. I don't know what we're going to get. Anyway, so we end up the night, we find out that Nick has a girlfriend. Don't nobody know Nick has a girlfriend, and Nick has absolutely been flirting with all the women except for Jasmine. Jasmine, yeah, in the house. And so everybody is now confused about this whole Nick girlfriend situation. But child, they showed pictures of the two of them, and he said that she's just a very private person. He said they don't really post each other on social media, and he doesn't feel like sliding into the girls' DMs was crossing the line. He, didn't think it was a big deal. So the next morning, the guys are working out while the girls are taking a mimosa walk. Okay. Is her name, what's her name? Preston. She has to leave because she can only come up on the weekends. And so she's, getting ready to leave. And she'll be back the next weekend. And, while they're on their mimosa walk, they're talking about this whole Nick thing. And they're, again, comparing notes and talking about the fact that Nick absolutely, was flirting with them, and they kind of side-eyeing the situation like, okay, what's really going on with Nick, Now, the guys are working out, and the guys are, being the guys. So while the guys are working out, Preston, who is a little thicker, like all the rest of the guys, it is clear they work out. They got 6-packs, they're in shape. And Preston is a little thicker. Matter of fact, Preston actually wanted to go on the mimosa walk with the girls. Okay, he didn't even want to work out with the guys. So he sort of tapped out, but he did try. He out there sweating. He was doing it. Like, they showed him doing the work, and he was like, okay, I've hit my ball. I'm done. And Silas is like, Preston, hold on, Preston. I need you to do better. And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm done. He was like, well, I need a little more. He said, I'm your line brother, and I got to hold you accountable. And he was like, but this isn't accountability. He was like, listen, there are things that you can do for different body types, different endurance. He said, I am trying. So Nick was like, did you at least get some reps in? And he was, because Silas was like, we got 5 more reps. And he was like, I can't do 5 more. Like, I can't. And Nick was like, well, did you do some? And he was like, yeah. He's like, I'm trying. And so Nick was like, okay, cool. So Silas was like, all I'm saying is I need a little more effort from you. And he was like, and I'm telling you that I tried. Silas has a control issue. So then they start revisiting the conversation from the night before with, talking, when he got mad, when he found out that Jasmine used to be in the club getting free drinks from guys. And he was like, you don't think that that's an issue? You don't think that's a problem? I mean, because at some point, guys are buying you free drinks. You don't think that could lead to a problem? You don't think that could lead to an issue? And all of the guys are telling him, dude, you're really making too much out of this. Like, at the end of the day, Jasmine is grown. She had a life before she met you. She knows how to handle herself. Like, it's not that serious. And my thing is, why are you getting mad about something that happened when you're not even there? Like, I don't know. Silas is very, I don't like to, I think controlling is a strong word, but he definitely has some control issues. I don't know if I feel like I just said the same thing. But anyway, so we find out that, oh no, they don't go fishing yet, child. I got it. So they come back into the house. The fishing is next. So it's the next day. So they come into the house. Bria's talking to her man. I know that girl name ain't Preston. I think I'm just making it up. But she left. Nick and Silas about a pool. And Nick is trying to have a conversation with Silas about being controlling. And I like the way he approached it. I like the way he brought it up. And, he didn't bring it up in an attacking kind of way. He didn't bring it up in a, I'm going to tell you, you're just controlling. But he asked him, do you think that you feel like you have to, control every situation? Do you feel like you're a little controlling with Jasmine? And Silas was like, I don't think I am. And he went on to explain basically that alpha male, I got a kind of thing. But listen, child, if Jasmine ain't complaining, I just feel like that's married people business and just stay out of it. But, So then inside, Amir has a moment where he's talking to Bria and Preston, and yeah, because I'm giving Preston, the other Shanice. That's her name, Shanice. I knew I was making up a name. Basically, they Mir just says that he feels like they don't know him yet. Like everybody just hasn't really gotten to know him. And he definitely struggles with, he's just finding his blackness and he's just evolving into his blackness, and that is definitely a struggle for him. And I can't imagine that you're half of a whole culture that you are literally in your 20s just learning about, right? Him just learning how to cut his hair, him just learning how to do certain things. So I can respect that he's adjusting to that situation. So anyway, as the day goes on, they're just kind of chilling, whatever. We see Nick can't swim, child, and he falls in the pool, but the pool comes up to his, but the water comes up to his waist. So it's like, you are all right, As much as Jasmine was acting like, Jordan was acting like she wasn't like really feeling Amir, she's spending a lot of time with Amir. So I think maybe he's growing on her. I don't know. And Amir seems less obnoxious as the show continues. Maybe because we're just not focused on him and how he feels. I don't know. We found out that we have 2 new people coming. We have Jason, who is a flight attendant, who is one of Jasmine's closest friends, and they actually used to be roommates. Now, y'all already know Silas is gonna feel some kind of way about that, okay? We already know that Silas is gonna feel some kind of way about that. We also have another female that's coming. She's a screenwriter / assistant that Jasmine met at Sundance. So, we'll see. But she showed up. She seemed kind of cool, So then they confront Nick about this whole flirting thing. Come to find out that Nick said that Shanice was his wife. And Nick was like, look, I'm sorry that I, was kind of playing both sides of the fence. But look, I got a girlfriend. I can't tell y'all that enough. Can we move on? I just feel like that's what he wanted to say. Because I'm going to be honest with you, that's how I feel about it. He flirted. Maybe him and his girlfriend were going through something. Maybe they was fighting. Maybe he thought he was going to have a secret romance. I don't know how you thought you was going to do that on a reality show. But, I don't know. Maybe that's what he thought was going to happen. Okay? So, everybody, goes out. They go to bed or whatever. And Bria texts Jasmine and is like, yeah. I think Bria asked, when is Simon coming? And Bria was like, oh, he'll be here next week. And I can't believe I get to see him for a whole week. And blah, blah, blah. Now, all of a sudden, Jasmine and Silas don't remember that she said that man was staying for a week. I remember they were at the bowling. Well, they played the scene back. But even before they played the scene back, I remember they were at the bowling alley. And she asked if Simon could come. And they asked for how long. And she said, well, it'll be about a week. Because it doesn't make sense for him to fly all the way from Germany for 13-hour flight for him to stay 2 days. So he was staying a week. And they did sort of give each other that look like a week. But they didn't tell her no. They didn't say he can't come. They didn't say no, we don't think that's a good idea. They were like, okay, sure. So now, all of a sudden, there's an issue. And Silas is like, you need to talk to her because he can't stay here for a week. That's not fair to everybody else. And you need to let her know. So now, the next day, Jasmine is like, well, I need to have a conversation with Bria about him staying for a week. Well, they're going fishing. This is Amir's trip. And he's taking, the crew is going fishing. Most of them had never been fishing before. And so this was a fun time for them, And everybody went as a group. So it was cool. So Jasmine pulls Bria aside before they leave. And basically, in her Jasmine way, tells her, I don't remember us having that conversation. I don't remember saying a week. Instead of saying, look, girl, I don't think he can stay for a week. And Bria was like, what are you talking about? Like, I absolutely had that conversation with you, and you absolutely said it was okay. Bria is like, I never said that. I never said that. Even production told her, she did say a week, and y'all said it was okay. Jasmine talking about something. I don't remember that. Girl, production is telling you that you said it. I don't know what else you want. Production said it. So, now Bria's pissed off, as she should be. Because this man done bought a plane ticket, and I'm sure his return flight is a week later. And she was excited to see him. And so now she's like, once again, I feel disrespected. I feel like my relationship isn't being respected. I asked you, and she did listen. Now, Bria done got on my nerves with this dog and all of that stuff. And hell, Phil was your friend. But on this one, girl, she ain't wrong. I'm sorry. She's not wrong. So she feeling some kind of way, but they go ahead and they go fishing. Um, she ends up calling Shanice to vent. She's upset. To vent and everything. Like, how should I handle this? How should I move forward? But anyway, they end up going fishing. They have a good time, and Amir says, "Listen, whatever we catch, we're gonna cook tonight. We're gonna have a good old." And so they caught all the fish. At the end of the day, he gonna say, "How y'all want us to cook it? You want to fry it or bake it?" They all looked at him and was like, "Fried, like, bruh, it's black folk. We gonna fry this fish." So they get back to the house, and they're all pitching in. He's gonna fry the fish, and they're putting together the side dishes and stuff like that. Well, this is when the other two house guests end up showing up. Bria, they get back and Bria's got flowers from Simon, real nice. He sent her like 3 or 4 bouquets of flowers, and it was all cool. And then Summer, that's the other one. Summer shows up, and Summer is cute, and all that good stuff. And I think Alex is kind of feeling her a little bit. I think they're going to flirt a little bit. I don't mean it's, I don't know if nothing going to pop off, but, and she seems cool. So we found out that actually Jordan actually interviewed her in Playboy. Jordan was like, "Yeah, I'm not just a pretty face. Like, I'm a journalist, and I did interview her, and the article was published in Playboy magazine. So I'm here for it. Like, girl, you better get in where you fit in, and you better make sure that you building those relationships and stuff, girl. Yes, I'm here for it." So they decided that they're gonna have a toga party that night. I'm going to just leave that there because they were like taking it back to the college days. And they're going to have 2 teams. They're going to have the Alpha team because they have Preston and Silas are members of Alpha Phi Alpha. And then they're going to have the Kappa team because Alex and Nick are members of Kappa Alpha Psi. So it was just, I didn't think it was a big deal. Now, I could see if some of the girls were, well, let me take that back. Summer said, "Well, I'm an Alpha." So they thought I'm sure they thought she meant AKA Alpha Kappa Alpha. And she was like, "No, Alpha," and she kept saying Alpha Phi. First of all, I've never heard it pronounced that way in the Greek alphabet. It is Phi. Phi is Phi. So first of all, I'm going to need you to learn how to pronounce your sorority. Second of all, it wasn't that serious. She was like, "Well, I just feel like if we're going to, like, you're disregarding you could disregard my, that I'm in the sorority. So what, this is a man thing? So we're being sexist now?" And I was like, okay, I don't think it's that serious, Summer. First of all, you said you got kicked out of your sorority. So let's start there. So technically, are you still even a member? Girl, you got kicked out. Okay? And I'm not trying to say that other sororities are less if they're not Divine Nine. But as black folk, I just look at the Divine Nine. And anything outside of the Divine Nine, I'll be like, okay, girl. I mean, I'm not talking about, like, professional organizations and all that. I ain't talking about that kind of stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't. Y'all know what I'm saying. But girl, I just feel like until you can pronounce the name of your sorority correctly, I don't feel like I need to listen to nothing else you're saying. Because I ain't never heard of Phi. Phi. It's Phi. And she kept saying Alpha Phi. Like, she said it multiple times. I was like, so she's not accidentally saying this. She really saying Phi. Anyway. So Bria is upset. She's been brewing on this all day. Brewing. So finally, she is telling Silas that she needs to talk to him. She's like, because I'm mad at you, bro. I'm mad at you. So she pulls Silas aside. And here's where I lost Bree. Bree, instead of sticking with your issue, which you had a valid issue, your issue was that you asked if Simon could stay for a week. They said yes, and now they're reneging, which is going to put you and Simon in a bad situation because he's staying for a week. He don't have nowhere to stay outside, or y'all going to have to get a hotel, or you're going to have to leave. That is your issue. What I had a problem with was that she then brought in something that Silas said in the car about how he prefers to date black women and he prefers women to date black men. He really doesn't like people dating outside of their race. And because Simon is white, Bria feels some kind of way about it. But my thing is, you ain't said nothing about that all this time. You're now conflating your issues and so now Silas is like, so you saying that I'm racist? Are you calling me a racist? And that is where it went left. Because again, I feel like, Bria, if you had stuck with your issue, which I feel like you had a valid concern, but you didn't do that. You went left with it, which then created a whole nother situation. So they got into a big argument. Jasmine comes down because they were like, girl, go get your man. He out there arguing and they getting loud. So Jasmine gets involved and now it's 2-on-1 and Bria feels even more attacked. And they're getting further and further away from the issue, which is Simon staying. They end up getting into this big argument where Bria's like, you disrespected my relationship. You're looking down on me. She was like, what if I had said something like that? How would you feel if I said, if I made the comment that you made, and he was like, but you're saying I'm a racist. I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist. And Bria says, well, fuck it, I'm leaving. So she goes upstairs and she starts throwing her stuff around like she really about to pack. Girl, I guess she got tired of throwing her tantrum and then sat down on the bed. So Silas comes upstairs. He talking about something, we already let your dog stay. Like, first of all, like, you're equating the dog to her man, although, Bria, you were still wrong for bringing that dog without telling nobody, but neither here nor there. So they basically got into the argument again, and she was like, Silas, you're manipulative. You're controlling. He was like, me manipulative? No, you're trying to manipulate me, and you're a spoiled brat, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we done went way left with this. Because honestly, at the end of the day, Silas and Jasmine, y'all are wrong. Bria asked, y'all said yes, and now they tell me something. We're gonna take it to a house vote because it's not fair. It's not fair. We're gonna take it to a vote about whether Simon can stay for the week or not. We're gonna vote on that. Well, you ain't bring it to a vote when she asked y'all 3-4 days ago. You didn't ask the house then when you said yes. Now all of a sudden you need the house to have a vote. I just feel like that whole situation was really effed up. So anyway, that's how the episode ended, child. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.